Hi everyone, it's Shelby here. Welcome back to A Little Literary Love, and welcome back to another Plan With Me video in my reading journal, my bullet journal. So obviously we're going to be doing May, since that's the new month coming out. So right now I'm doing my title page. I decided to do, for my theme of May, I wanted to do like a honeybee theme, since bees, they remind me of springtime because of flowers, floral, all the flowers are blooming in the spring, and you can't have flowers blooming without pollination from your honeybees. So I wanted to do a honeybee theme, and I thought it would be really cool. So for my title page, I ended up drawing this big, I think that's the hexagon, if I can remember, like elementary school geometry. I think that's a hexagon. Shape, a big shape. And right now I'm just writing in May. I'm still really bad at doing like calligraphy, like I think that's what it's called, with my letters, and using like the actual type of pens or markers that you're supposed to use. So I just kind of like fake it and use my Micron pen, and then just kind of color it in to like make it look like I did like fancy calligraphy. So anyway, and then for also on the title page, I decided, so I have the hexagon with May written in the middle, and then right now what I'm doing is just drawing along the outside of the hexagon, just different like floral, flowery doodles all along the edge. And I thought that would be really cute for, again, since it's springtime, flowers. And this took me a little bit because I honestly had open on my iPad while I was drawing these just a ton of different pictures of flower doodles that people have done, and I was trying to find some that were honestly like the easiest that I could do, because I'm not super good at drawing flowers. But then I was also trying to look at tons because I didn't want to be too repetitive if I could with the flowers that I was drawing, especially because I didn't want to have the same style or type of flower pretty close together along the border. So it did take me a little bit just kind of plowing through and looking through all of the different doodly pictures that I was drawing inspiration from. So I was drawing, I think there's like some roses that I did, like daisies, tulips, and then a bunch of other like flowery doodles that I honestly have no idea what type of flower it's supposed to be, but it looked easy to draw, so I went with it. There's also some dandelion, and then I also did, just to kind of like keep filling it in so that there was enough flower doodles, some just some like greenery, like leaves, vines, that kind of thing. Yeah, so I'm just going to keep filling in along the border all of the different flowers. Onto the last side. Okay, And now, since like I said, the theme of this month is honeybees, of course, on the title page, I had to incorporate some honey bees. So now I'm just drawing in some bees, and then they're just kind of flying around in the flowers. And I decided to go back and do one more up at the top just to make it even. Okay. Now I'm going in with just a Crayola Super Tips markers. That's the majority of how I colored in this month's drawings, is with Crayola Super Tips, just because I found it's a lot easier and there's still like a tons of different colors to color things in. But anyway, I'm going in with those markers to color in the bees and then all the flowers, and I tried to stick to like a springtime kind of color palette. So you can see I'm using a lot of like purples and pinkish colors. Obviously I did do red for the roses, and then a couple of different greens for the greenery and the leaves that I drew, and then obviously yellow for the honeybees, and then some of the I don't know what it's called, the middle part of the flower, whatever that's supposed to be. I colored those all in with yellow too. And then with this marker, I did decided to also do some little like grass bits around the edge as well, just to kind of fill in the space between the flowers and like the flowery part with the stems and the actual like bottom of the hexagon. So the second page is going to be my calendar for the month of May, and I thought it would be really neat to make it look like a honeycomb. So now I'm just drawing in all the hexagons that are going to take shape and to form the honeycomb. And this is going to be my monthly calendar. And I liked using this. I did this last month, and I liked having that calendar. I use it there's a few different like book clubs that I've started participating in, and they always announce their like live shows on YouTube. So I write down when they're having their live shows, so I know when I need to have the book for that particular book club finished. There's other types of like events, or I think there's a readathon that I might participate in May. So this will be helpful for knowing when all of those things are going to take place. And then at the bottom, I drew just 3 hexagons just for space for notes, since the actual calendar bit, there's not a whole lot of room to write down things in the spaces up there. So I have the extra space at the bottom to take little notes. And then I'm just coloring in the honeycombs with, again, the Crayola Super Tips. I'm using a yellowish type color, and I ended up alternating the colors between the days of the weeks. So this is a different type of yellow, and I'm going to go back and forth, because since it's a honeycomb, it's not like a straight up and down calendar that you would like typically see. So the days are kind of skewed a little bit. So I thought the only way that I was going to be able to keep track of what the day of the week is for that particular day is if I color coded the days to keep it track, because otherwise I knew I was going to get very confused with how the calendar layout is formatted. And then I'm coloring in the notes section just to stay on theme. Again, make it look like honeycombs. And now I'm going in with a darker yellow. It's like a yellowish, brownish color. And I'm drawing in like a little shadow in all of the honeycomb boxes just to give the image a little bit more dimension, make it look a little bit more realistic so it's not just looks pretty flat. And then I had drawn in the background, it's supposed to be like honey, like melting honey somewhat. And I'm coloring this in with a different yellowish color. And this time I'm using this marker. I think it's from the Paper Studio, I think is the brand that this is from. I don't know. It's one of the brands that's at Hobby Lobby is where I got this one from. And it was just different enough, but still looked that like golden-y kind of color to look like honey. And then I decided, since I had a whole lot of extra space at the top, last month I ended up writing the month at the top of this page, but since I wrote the month on the title page, thought it would be weird to write May again. So I decided to do a quote, and this one is a quote by Henry David Thoreau. It is, "The keeping of bees is like the direction of sunbeams." So I thought that'd be cool just to kind of, since it's, like I said, springtime and the sun's out more, and it's just happy times. And now I'm writing in all the days of the week, or days of the month. And then I'm going back in with a white Archer and Arlov acrylograph pen, and I was trying to add some like highlights and a little bit of dimension to the honey, but it's kind of hard to see on camera. It didn't really show up very well. But yeah, so on to the next page. And this page I'm really proud of. I like the idea that I had for this. So this first on the left is going to be, I decided I wanted to actually do a TBR for May. I haven't done a TBR for the past few months just because when I wanted to maybe make a TBR, I didn't even stick to it, but I thought this would be good because, like I said, I have some book clubs that I'm wanting to participate in, and there's a readathon with some prompts for the readathon going on in May, so I thought it would be good because I already know that I have a set books that I want to read. I thought it would be cool to make a TBR. And then on the right is going to be my days read page. So I've been doing this with each month, and I make some sort of image, and each day the image or box or whatnot that has that day, I color it in. So I thought it would be cool to actually draw. I have a honeybee hive and a bunch of honeybees flying around, and then at the bottom I decided to draw some flowers. So basically by the time I get this all colored in, it's still gonna look pretty blank because all of the images like the bees and the flowers aren't going to be colored in, but that's because I'm going to use those for my days read. So I will color those in throughout the month of May as I read on each of the days. And I think it'll be really cool to look back on and see the image fully colored in when I've read all of those days. Okay, and then I'm just erasing all of my pencil marks before I go in with my marker to color in the tree. So I can at least color in the tree bit. with like this brown Crayola Super Tips marker. And I have this like scrap paper that I've been using that I keep, and I put it behind the page that I'm working on just so I don't end up getting marker on pages behind this page. And then coloring in the leaves of the tree. And then I'm writing in TBR on this big branch, and then writing in, so how I do my TBRs in my bullet journal, so I make almost like a little box so that I can check off. And so once I actually create the book, my TBR and the books that I want to read, I'll list those out. And then that big long bar that I do, however far I get along the book, I will color it in. So if I finish the book and totally complete it, I will color the bar in all the way. But if I only get a little bit and I end up DNFing the book, then I'll only color it in like however far I got in the book. So then if I do complete it, then I have that little box that I can check mark off. And then on the other page, I did days read, and now I'm just going in with like a darker brown color, again, to try to give dimension to the tree. But again, it didn't really show up that well. I may end up going back. But this next page is going to be my YouTube video planner page. I did this in last month's plan with me, and it worked out really well. I'm glad I decided to do this. So at the top, I'm making like a honeycomb with a bee for the image. And then I'm doing this grid like box. So I'm basically just in the far is going to be like my ideas for like videos, and then just kind of planning out like if I actually do that idea, doing the prep for the video, filming it, editing, thumbnail, and then posting it and doing a post on Instagram about it. So this was very helpful last month because I find that sometimes I'll have an idea for a video and then I'll forget about it, or I've also found where I've filmed videos and then totally forgot about filming them, and I've sat on my phone for months on end and I haven't edited them or I haven't posted them. So this will help me keep track of those videos. And then I decided to draw another little calendar at the bottom because I'm wanting to try to become more consistent with the videos, posting them, and try to be more consistent with like a certain day that I post. So I thought it would be good to have a calendar to also help me plan ahead a little bit more. And the right side is going to be my Instagram planner page. I'm wanting to become a little bit more involved in Instagram with my Instagram account. But again, I think I need to do a little bit more planning ahead with the types of posts that I want to post. So I think eventually I might make a grid kind of like on the YouTube planning page for the Instagram planning page, but I haven't gotten that far. For now, I'm just going to leave it blank and I can write in like ideas I have and try to plan out when I'm going to post things. And then on the top right hand corner, I just drew another flower that I'm coloring in purple and doing a green stem. So this next page, and you can't really see it because again, when I'm doing these videos and doing my bullet journals, I'm not really paying attention to filming and the shot. So I'm sorry if things get cut off. You will see what I drew eventually. There it is. I drew a little flower there in the corner. But yeah, that's one of my goals that I'm going to try to work on, to try to be more mindful of my camera shot and what is in the shot of the camera, or at the very least try to take more breaks to check on where the shot is. But it'll get better. I promise. So again, I drew a little flower. This is going to be my goals page. I find this helpful to have my goals every month just as a reminder of trying to work towards my goals. And then I'm just coloring this flower in with a little bit of pink and then yellow in the middle. And then on the other page, I have another honeybee and honeycomb that I'm coloring in. And this page is going to be my anticipated releases at the top. So where I write down all the books that I'm looking forward to that are releasing in the month of May. And then I'll do my stats for the month at the bottom. And then these are going to be my last two pages, my last two spreads for the month of May. And again, you can't really see the doodle that I'm drawing on the bottom, but it is a jar of honey. And at the top is, I don't know what it's called, but you see it a lot of times in honey jars, this like stick to get out the honey. But anyway, so this page is going to be my favorite books and quotes of the month. So what I do, if I find a quote that I like in a book that I'm reading, I will come to this page and write it down. And then at the end of the month, I will choose like my favorite books of the month. And I've been printing out the image of it and pasting it into my bullet journal. And then the right hand page in the bottom, I drew another honeybee hive with some honeybees flying around it. I'm going to color that in. And the right side page is going to be my brain dump page. I found that since I have another page devoted specifically towards my YouTube videos and YouTube ideas, and now an Instagram page as well, I haven't needed 2 pages for brain dump, but it is still helpful to have it just for extra ideas that I might have or lists that I need to make. So I have still had that in my journal. So here's my final flip through for my journal for the month of May. I hope you all liked this video, and if you did, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more content, especially if you want to see more. But I hope to see you all on the next one. Bye, guys.